Yeah, it's your boy Dustin.
And it's your boy Denzel, and we're finally back again with another video. Yes, haven't posted in a while, but
Back and we're better.
that's all that's important, you know. A lot has been going on in this country, around the world, you know, because people have been standing with Black Lives Matter, and we're here to talk about that today. Not only talk about Black Lives Matter, but we're also here to talk about the realities that we face of being black in America. You know, due to recent events, it's a lot of like tragedies and travesties that we have to deal with. You know, thank everyone who has gone out there and protested, donated, and signed petitions. Like, those things really matter. Like, even with us, we weren't saying anything on social media really, but we were definitely like donating, and we've been trying to figure out how can we help make a change behind the scenes. Like, what can we do to help make things a better place, not just for us, but for everyone, you know, because not only do we stand for like love and peace, equality, but we definitely stand against racism.
And just to clear the air for anybody who is confused, or if you know or end up speaking to someone that may be confused by what Black Lives Matter mean, it doesn't necessarily mean Black Lives Matter only. We're just saying Black Lives Matter too. So for those people that say, hey, Black Lives Matter, and then the response is, yeah, but all lives matter, it's also like you're neglecting the Black lives part. We get the short end of the stick. We have to go through and experience the racism.
Sadly, a lot of black lives are being taken just because we're black. You know, just because the color of their skin. Is about people being held accountable for making unjustified murders around the country just because of the power that they may have, the authority they may have, and basing that all due to the color of our skin.
For someone to say all lives matter, they're just trying to minimalize what we're trying to say.
Let's talk about our experiences that we've experienced being black in America. Both of us, clearly, we're black, you know.
Clearly.
But we have faced different experiences. Like, even though we're brothers, we have different lives, you know. Even though we spend a lot of time together, we have different lives. Especially for me, like, you know, me being a darker skinned person, I feel like if I walk in a room of like, let's say white people, I feel like, oh, let me be extra smiley just so that you guys know I'm not a threat. A lot of people will be like, well, why would they think you're a threat? That's just based off of whatever biases they may have unconsciously, consciously. Like, people may think like, oh my gosh, he's black, like he must be a thug, a gangster, all this other stuff. So no, I'm here with all those biases against me already, pre-judgment. I'm already walking in there like, hey, how's it going? Like, I'm so friendly, I'm over the top nice, you know, just so that they can let their guard down, just to make sure that they're comfortable, you know. It's like a performance going out there and doing, just so that my safety is assured. I have to make sure that you feel safe, you feel comfortable, you don't feel insecure, you know, so that you won't call the police and be like, oh my gosh, a black man's threatening me. Because a lot of people go out there and do that. They misuse their privilege, and that's another thing. Having the privilege as a white person to call the police on a black person and be like, oh, I want them arrested immediately, or just falsifying what's really going on and be like, oh, I'm being threatened. So at that point, it puts me in danger, you know. So to avoid that whole thing, I try to overcompensate with being kind and being smiley all the time. Another instance that I faced was a few years ago. I went with a group of friends. They were all white people as well. We went to go celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And, you know, while I'm outside, we're all partying, hanging out, I get called the N-word, you know, and it's like, I get singled out. I'm like, probably like one of like 10 black people in the whole crowd, you know what I'm saying? But I get singled out. At that point, I got jumped by 4 white people. And it's like, I didn't get jumped by 4 white people because we were arguing, we were beefing, you know, they've known me from the past, I stole one of their girlfriends. No, just based off of their ignorance and the color of my skin, I've gotten into a physical altercation based off of that. And it's sad, but it's like it's a reality. It's kind of like almost traumatic, but we have to keep going because sadly, a lot of people don't take us serious when we talk about things like this. In another instance, sorry, I know I'm like talking a lot, but in another instance, what I've experienced, especially with being pulled over by the police, I always try to like change the station from like whatever I'm listening to, whether it's rap music. I'm like, let me put on some Taylor Swift so that they know I'm not a threat, you know? And it's like such a psychological thing to go through, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting pulled over by the police. Let me make sure my hands are on the wheel. Let me make sure this. Let me make sure I'm like well-spoken. Let me make sure that I'm looking them in the eye like, hey, good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. And also, let me make sure that Taylor Swift or Sam Hunt's playing in the background so they know I'm not a threat, you know? And it's just like all these hoops and hurdles just to make sure that, to kind of feed their I don't want to say feed their ego, but feed their insecurity or feed their bias, their judgment. And that's so sad that we have to go through that, you know?
Yeah, it's really, I like to call it psychological warfare, because like even like you got pulled over in that instance, whatever experience you had, I've gotten pulled over. I remember even with my first car I remember I got 10 tickets. That's a lot of tickets.
Wow.
But I got pulled over a lot. And it's like, it can be literally anything. My first car was a convertible. That could have been one reason. Why is a black guy in a convertible? How can he afford it? I don't know.
We used to call that the beach car, because that's the type of car you go to with the beach, with the top down, you know?
But every time I would get stopped, it would always be for something minuscule. So it would be like, I say blew a stop sign or whatever the case may be. But when the officer approaches the car, it's like, so whose car is it? It's not even like, do you know why I pulled you over? Hey, you were speeding. Hey, you passed that stop sign back there. It's, who does this car belong to? It's my car, sir. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Where'd you get it from? Do you pull me over to ask me? Do you want to buy one just like mine? Like, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But now in hindsight, I knew it was like a racial profiling thing, because I seen a pattern the more times I got pulled over. And for me, it's like, okay, now when I drive, I have to drive carefully. I shouldn't have probably tint on my windows. I should drive with both hands on the wheel, like you said. I should already have my license and registration now, because now if I reach for my glove compartment, someone may feel threatened. And I feel like by me just even walking outside, a lot of people, and by people I mean the racist people, not all white people are racist, I'm just speaking on the racist ones, that they feel threatened by whatever, if it's the color of my skin, maybe it's my confidence, maybe it's some type of ego or pride trip that they're on, and they're like, I think I'm better than you because you think you're better than me. And I'm like, I don't even think any of that. I'm really just going to a destination and you're stopping me. Now, another instance is being at work. A lot of black people can actually relate to this one when you're at your job and you face a lot of racial slurs, expressions, and all types of racism. So I was on training for my job, and one of the instructors took a picture of a black guy that she saw at an Old Navy in her neighborhood, and was like, oh my gosh, look at Dustin, and thought it would be cool to come into work the next day with the picture on her phone. And she's like, oh my gosh, I saw you yesterday. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We don't even live nowhere near each other. So I'm like, you didn't see me, I was home. She's like, no, I saw you. So I'm like, what is she talking about? And then she's like, actually, I took a picture. So already I'm like, first of all, that's creepy. Why would you, if you did see me outside, why would you take a picture of me outside? But whatever. So she shows me this picture of a model on the Old Navy glass, and she's like, yeah, this was you. And I'm just like, you do know that's racist, right? All black people don't look alike. And she's laughing, trying to make sure everyone else laughs with her. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
it was just uncalled for.
It's not even funny.
Yeah, unnecessary. And I'm like, this is something I gotta go through. I'm coming into work to learn from you. And one of the things you do is, hey, only black guy out of 150 people, I saw you. Don't all black people look alike? Nah. Like, it's just not cool, and it makes us feel bad. Some people are depressed about it. You know, we try to wear our smiles all the time. We wear our hearts on our sleeves all the time. So it's like we have a lot of trials and tribulations that we have to go through due to biasness, due to judgments, prejudgments, and just the color of our skin.
And we're not saying anyone else out there doesn't have any struggles. We're just stating the struggles that we face just based off of our skin color. That's just solely what it's on. You know, and seeing all that's been happening these past few weeks has been mentally and physical draining for us to even like process, because it is a lot. And it's like, you know how you get bullied in school? Now it's like, now the bullying and everything is just being amplified to like 1,000, and everyone's seeing it, and all these traumatic images of like someone that can be our brother, our uncle, being brutally murdered in the streets. You know, it's crazy how just based off the color of your skin, being at a traffic stop results in your death. You sleeping in your house results as a death. you running throughout the neighborhood trying to exercise results in you being dead. That isn't right. It's finally come to a point where people are tired and enough is enough. Like, things have to change. Open up your eyes to see what is actually going on here in the world. So a lot of ways you guys can help, whether it's donating, protesting, signing petitions. Also, what I urge people to do is to learn more about the culture, learn more about those people, learn more about whether you're Latin, you're Black, you're Asian. Like, learn more about their culture instead of just judging them based off of what the media says, what your family says. Because one thing I saw on the internet was, Black people aren't a threat. Asian people aren't a virus. Latin people aren't illegal. Muslims aren't terrorists. Those things are literally like biases that some people think is a reality, and it's like, no, the whole community, the whole race, the whole religion isn't like that. So I think we urge people just to expand their minds and just open up. We all can be the change that we need to make this world a better place for all of us. So yeah, all the ad revenue from this video will definitely be donated. So we urge you guys to click the link in the bio, check more, read up more how to support the Black Lives Matter movement, and look out for more content from us. We're ready to just jump back in and get it started because we are fun people. We usually don't make videos like this. We're just so serious, but it has to happen, and it's just a reality that we're facing. So we hope that all you're well.
I hope you're all staying safe.
Yes, and let us know what you guys think, what your thoughts are on this topic, and we'll holler at you guys later.
Peace.